So the other day I'm playing Castlevania 2 cause, yeah. Anyway, my young nephew looks at me entering the password for it and asks, what am I doing? I told him I'm playing a game. He gives me a smart aleck reply telling me it doesn't look like I'm playing a game. I tell him, yeah, I haven't started yet, I first have to enter the password to start the game. He asks why. My patience thins. I tell him once I enter the correct password, I can start the game. He asks why again. So I can play. He asks again, why did game have passwords? I wanted to tape his mouth shut, yet I answered. Gamers back then didn't have memory cards, didn't have save slots, save states, couldn't save games to hard drives or the cloud. We didn't even fathom such things, we just relied on passwords. That's what we had. He didn't ask why again, cause I taped his mouth shut, but he got me thinking, passwords. Before save states, before memory cards, before battery backups, before we have all these save options that we have today, we had no other ways to restart the game at a certain point without passwords. And we considered ourselves lucky at the time because before that, there was no options other than to continue the game until you finished it. Looking at you, Rygar. So then I started thinking about all these games with passwords. Started to remember all those times I wrote down a freaking long password only to realize it was incorrect. And then freaking out and getting mad since I didn't know which character I wrote down wrong. I mean, what kind of evil developers would devise such a Why did you make freaking passwords so goddamn... I'm good. No, I'm good. I'm good. Some games took the password features to insane levels. I mean, it wasn't bad enough that some letters look like some numbers look like letters, and symbols sometimes look like gibberish. So I decided to highlight the 10 worst password systems in video game history, going from least to worst, and listed them here for your amusement. Prepare to cry. Highline comes in at number 10. Has anyone played this game? If so, why? I mean, look at it. Just to get the password is weird. I mean, most passwords-oriented games show you the password once you die in the game. Then it pops up. Write it down, start all over again. Not here. Here you have to hit select and select password to get it. If you click save, it gives you a checkpoint that you can load from. I will give it this. At least the game gives you a keyboard to select the letters and numbers from. Having to enter a password to continue playing this game is like having to put up money to have somebody hit your knees with a sledgehammer. And I will go with the sledgehammer. At number 9, I got Who Framed Roger Rabbit. This game here was not that great. Was not, let's be honest. The password system is a pain. You got no on-screen keyboard to select from. You just scroll through letters and numbers. If you got the password wrong, the game doesn't say anything. It doesn't tell you that the password is wrong. It just casually spits you back out onto the title screen. You have to click new game, and then you will see if the password that you entered is correct. If not, you have to restart the game, and then you have to put the password in all over again. Ah, what a kick in the royal ones. This game is just one big pain in the neck. So you know what? I guess the developer said, let's make the password system one that matches the rest of the game, shall we? I mean, I recall making it to the end and writing down the password only to find out that it was wrong. And I was so mad that day. I never finished it because I refused to play it again after that. All because of that damn password system. Now, Nutopia comes in at number 8. This, by the way, great game. Love it. One of my favorites when I owned the TurboGrafx 16. It came out before Link to the Past, so this game kind of satisfied my need for a Zelda game in a 16-bit machine. Now, it didn't do anything extraordinary though. Same goes for the password. But since Hue cards were not cartridges, there was no way to put a battery backup into one. So the only way to save a game using the cabinet file option was to have a Turbo Booster Plus. Now think about that. You needed to buy a peripheral to save games, or you could have a TurboGrafx CD. Gee, I wonder why this console failed. At 7, I got a 3-way tie between Metroid, Kid Icarus, and Battle for Olympus. Now all these games are amazing, classics, all the way, without a doubt. But the passwords on these are not easy to look at, much less having to enter them in. Now, Metroid and Kid Icarus were made using the same game engine, so it's no surprise that the password systems are the same. That's why they're tied for number 7. Battle for Olympus is one of those underrated NES games that I had the pleasure of playing and beating. The password is somewhat similar to the other two games, but the game is awesome, so it's worth the trouble. Now go play them all if you haven't played them yet. Now for an added challenge, I dare you to play Metroid without looking at any maps or online facts. Not easy. Now at number 6 I vote Gauntlet 4 for the Genesis. I love this game because it was an arcade perfect port and it added an adventure mode, which was really cool because it added stats and equipment which made it feel like a role-playing game. Now unfortunately the password system came out with the adventure mode and it was a pain, but the game was fun. Now why a backup battery wasn't used in the cartridge is beyond me. Like I said, this game is still fun to play, so play it if you get a chance, hopefully using a save state feature. One of the great games of the NES, not known by many, is Guardian Legend. Awesome shooter / adventure game, and it comes in at number 5. I love this game. The password system, not so much. I keep hoping a company picks this one up and remakes it with updated graphics, maybe adds a bit more content. I'm sure someone's gonna pick this up. It's too good to pass up. Play the original in the meantime, you will love it. International Superstar Soccer comes in at number 4, and it came out for the Super Nintendo and the Genesis, but the one that you see here is for the Super Nintendo. Obviously, if you wanted to play sports games, you would go with the Genesis, but anyway. The password feature on both versions, it's the same. It's a very long password. I will give it this though. You got little soccer balls flying left and right, all different directions. So at least the password is fun to look at as you're entering it, because it's so long. Now, personally, I've never played the game. I'm not a big fan of sports video games, but this one looks like it's fun. Give it a try if you get a chance. Okay, this password you see here, it belongs to another great NES game, River City Ransom. Now, I recall renting this game for the weekend and finding it to be quite good. It really surprised me. It combined the genres of beat 'em ups with that of an RPG. So you could increase your health and power among other things by purchasing items such as food from convenience stores throughout the game. The password, however, now that was a pain though. I mean, it's understandable considering RPG elements were not part of the game, but my god, was that password a pain to enter. Good thing this game is fun to play, but the password system to me still stinks, and that's why it sits at number 3. Now, King's Bounty here on the Genesis makes it at number 2. This is another one I haven't played. Funny thing is that I recall seeing this cover art in video stores and toy stores many times, but I always passed up on it. Once I saw the password that you needed to write down, I freaked out. I thought it was a joke. Now, I can only imagine playing this game back then and having to write this thing down and fearing you wrote something down incorrectly, and then finding out that you actually did. Another one that I wonder why a battery backup wasn't implemented into the cartridge. But even this password here is nothing compared to the next one. I mean, the next one makes this one look like a 4-letter password. Wow, I've seen books shorter than this. Okay, it's over. Now, is that crazy or what? Turns out that the password that you see here is if you want to transfer over your characters and items from Golden Sun 1 to Golden Sun 2. There are 3 types of passwords here: bronze, silver, and gold. This here is the gold password, and it's 260 characters. Now, I've written book reports shorter than this. The only good thing I can think of is that by the time that these games were out, digital cameras were coming into mainstream, so I can definitely imagine people taking pictures of this password instead of writing it down. What if you did write it down but it was wrong? What character out of the 260 was the wrong one? And that right there, that's my number 1. How can it not be? I mean, look at it. Now this here was the worst password that I could find as I researched this topic. I bet after watching this video we can all be a little more thankful that we no longer have to deal with such things. I mean, nowadays we got save states, online cloud saving, even memory cards if we choose to play some of the older games on PS2, GameCube, Xbox, or Dreamcast, assuming you still have some memory cards lying about. But no passwords, thank God. Well, there you have it. Sure, I missed a few crazy ones out there, but I doubt anything's gonna be number one. Thanks for watching, and as always, take care of yourselves.